too late. We're live.
Oh, okay.
We're not live, but we're recording. What's up, folks? So it is. Do we call it F9 day or Fast and the Furious day or I don't know what we want to call it.
It's just Wednesday.
Yeah, or it's Wednesday. Anyway, so brand new Fast and the Furious trailer.
Regular ass Wednesday.
Big deal. Regular ass Wednesday. Everyone's on their lunch break, so thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for tuning in. So this is crazy. So it's been quite a journey. Fast and the Furious 1 back in 2009. Big spot in my top 5 of movies. Let's quickly just go around the thing. Chris Ho, I think I may have brainwashed you into loving this movie like me, or I don't know.
Yeah, I've watched, heavily invested in this franchise. I've watched probably all of them in the theater except for the last one. There's a reason why I don't want to get into much of a rant, but yeah, it's a great. Well, who would have thought like years ago when you mentioned this is probably the most lucrative franchise right now.
Yeah. Who would have thought a Point Break kind of like semi ripoff or a ripoff would become starring like car culture and underground street racing, all that stuff would balloon into one of the biggest franchises in all of the planet. So Rob, are you down with the Fast Saga? They call it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think it was 2009, John. I feel like it was before that. I think it was 2002 or 3 was the first one. But at any rate, yeah. So I saw the first one in theaters. I saw the second one, I think, in theaters, and then after that, I kind of was like, I'm out. I believe I saw Fast.
Yeah, you're right. 2001. Okay. I must have looked up Fast Furious without that.
Right. Yeah. Fast and the Furious is 2009, I think. I saw maybe Fast 7 in a theater with a friend of mine who convinced me to kind of come back into it. So I've watched them all probably about a couple years ago. Not my favorite genre of movies because I'm not a car guy. These hands are soft hands, ladies and gentlemen. These are not mechanic hands. These are made for loving. So I have no. Listen, it is what it is. It's popcorn goodness. It defies the laws of physics, gravity, and everything else, and you kind of know that going in. So. It's okay.
It's changed a lot from the 2000
from the original.
From the original. Yeah, it was very car culture centric. I don't know if anyone goes back like me when that culture exploded at that time, and there were people meeting at Tim Hortons and all these kind of parking lots, kind of doing that thing. Obviously now it's very some people just taking it to the level where it's way too dangerous. So I don't recommend kind of going to those things. And I think my brother was actually the one that saw it first, and he told me, knowing that I'm the car guy, that you have to go see it because it wasn't really on my radar. We didn't really follow movies as much back then, before the internet, you young children's. And he was like, no, you got to go see it. The car noises, the explosions, it's just like, you're gonna love this. And I did proceed to. It became a way of life almost, live your life a quarter mile at a time. So this brand new one, it's been delayed so many times. So the original release date was, I think, April 2019, got pushed back for Hobbs and Shaw, and then the pandemic hit. So I think we're at the 2-year mark, almost exactly at the 2-year mark seeing this trailer. And then it drops on June 25th in theaters and will probably be announced for some type of streaming platform or whatever closer to that date, depending on the shape of the world at that time. So I don't know if this is the tagline or not, but I found this, and I think it goes, no matter how fast you are, no one outruns their pass. So I think that's pretty cool. We know who's in this cast. I guess we can talk a little bit about it. So Vin Diesel, staple, new action hero of our decade and things like that. Sorry, my doorbell just ran. And then
are you living in stately Wayne Manor? What type of a doorbell is that?
That's a prestigious doorbell. Alfred. I thought like, Vin Diesel's here. You're in Vin Diesel's house. So we don't even mention Vin Diesel. It's like, I'm like, oh, he's here.
But this introduction of John Cena, one of our guys we have talked about, Suicide Squad. We loved the look of him in that new movie. So the first trailer we did watch. Are you guys excited for John Cena? I like the fact that he's playing a villain. It seems like he's Dominic Toretto's brother. And he looks like he's playing it serious. So I don't know, Chris, are you excited to see your guy John Cena?
I don't think like you just said, serious is not his wheelhouse, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. He's kind of like a goofy, big goon kind of deal. I feel like he's got a little more comedy chops than I think most people would give him credit for.
Yeah, the comedy charm.
It kind of I won't say more than that. I think he might be not fit for this particular type of role.
It's not what we would typically see him. He usually does play those comedic roles. He is an actual legit car guy, so I'm excited for that. So, and then I'll quickly kick it to Rob. What are your thoughts on John Cena in this?
Well, I saw the original trailer that came out over a year ago. I didn't see John Cena, and I can't say it was a great fan.
You tried. You would have got me if you had kept it. I would have been like, "What are you talking about?" They totally revealed it. So go back to our Suicide Squad trailer to follow up what exactly just tried to happen there. But the whole John Cena, you can't see him joke. Almost happened. You almost had it, Rob.
No, I was gripping with fingernails on the edge of laughter, and I let go. Reverse cliffhanger. I died. Yeah. Listen, we saw him in. I can't stop laughing internally. We saw him in the Bumblebee movie. He was playing a bit of a. He wasn't. He was over the top serious. From what I remember in the last trailer, he's listen, whatever, it is what it is. Like, he's not winning an Academy Award for these movies. There are no Academy Awards are ever being furnished upon this franchise. So
you never know if nothing else comes out this year. Winner by default.
I think it is what it is. I think he'll be fine. Let's whatever. Let's just see how it goes. He's stepping in for The Rock right now because The Rock is off doing his own thing, right? So.
Yeah. So it looks interesting. A long lost brother that has never been mentioned in the previous movies, but we're going to gloss over that.
How convenient.
And the return of
a movie about family. It doesn't have a mention. Of
If there's somehow a third whole brother, and we haven't talked about him over the years that we've been in existence, that would be very surprising.
And it's John Turturro, really skinny and old, wearing a robe.
Yeah. So, and then I was just going to mention the return of Han. We don't know how or why or whatever, but I feel like they should just bring him back and not even mention it. He should just be back. Clearly one of the best things about the franchise, and my guy Tyrese. So I don't know if we have to talk anything else before we get into this trailer.
Let's roll.
Let's trailer reaction.
Yeah. Is it transform and roll out? Is that what Vin Diesel says?
Roll out.
Transform and roll out. All right. So it's time to live our life a quarter mile at a time. 3-minute Fast 9 trailer just dropped today. Let's rock and roll. Let's trailer reaction.
The world has a way of changing.
Brian Skyline.
Real classic.
And we change too.
Family.
There are moments that separate us. But we always come back together.
We heard y'all needed a little love out here.
Y'all ever thought about the wild missions we've been on? We've taken out planes, trains, tanks. I'm not going to even think about the submarine. And now we got cars flying in the air?
That's one thing.
Who is he?
Jakob is Dom's brother.
Been a long time, Dom. Little brother. You always say never turn your back on family.
Wow, this show Charlize.
You turned your back on me. Now your little family is in my world.
Are you ready?
Whatever's on you,
Is you ready?
it's on us.
Are you ready?
He's got his own private army. We need help.
Bring what you got.
Bring what you got. Bring what you got.
No way.
Is you ready? Whole squad ready.
Whoa.
Fast.
We going on. We going on. Whole squad ready. Ready.
Okay, this is a bad time to mention this, but I don't drive.
All right.
Brother against brother.
I guess okay, right?
This should be interesting. But could you kill him?
Get the e-brake for me, would you, darling?
Helen Mirren doing it.
Crank it all the way up.
We the soldiers.
Charger. What?
Man, we messing with magnets now? If you woke, don't wake up. Whoa. Confront. Yeah, everything we gave up. Even when we
See ya.
down, we raise up. Yeah! It's good to be back. We got no white flag and no treaty. We got the
The Supra, that's a new Supra.
We supposed to stop that? Hold on!
We going wild. We on the loose. People is blind. We are the truth.
I spent my entire life in your shadow. And now, you spend the rest of yours living in mine.
We going wild. We on the loose.
I'm gonna fly a jet. You think it's Tom Cruise?
We are the truth.
Really? Duct tape? You acting like we on our way to Home Depot.
No, space!
I don't want to die!
That was a rocket ship, right? That was a rocket ship car, right? Right? I saw it. We saw it, right? Whoa, boy. Okay, so this is typical fare for Fast and the Furious. I don't know if there is a Fast and the Furious 10 that can possibly happen after this with the amount of stuff that was going on that screen. So I'll give you guys a second to gather your thoughts. So if
didn't they say it's supposed to go? Didn't they? Is it supposed to end at 10 or is it 12? I thought it was one of the. They've already said it's ending.
I thought they said 2 more. I could be wrong. You know, the internet can correct me in the comments. So definitely in the comments, drop in what you're thinking about this. But this is it's pretty nuts. So it looks pretty good to me. I kind of like my brother. Maybe the last couple ones, I lost a little bit of interest. I actually, upon the rewatch during this whole pandemic, my appreciation for it grew a little bit more. And it's mainly because the loss of Paul Walker. It really was the heart of the franchise, especially for us, us car guys. It really hit us really hard. So so I think after that kind of grieving period left, and I went back and rewatched them, I think I definitely did like them a lot better. But do you think this can what is your favorite Fast and the Furious, Rob? I think you said it was Fast 5, probably.
Well, Fast Five changed what the previous movies were, right? I mean, 1 and 2 were kind of carbon copy. Well, 2 was a carbon copy of 1. Number 3 was in Tokyo, which is really weird because in the timeline it actually takes place before a lot of the other movies. 4 was a return of Dom, and then 5 was where the Rock
reverse. I think it takes place after some of them. Yeah, because Hannah's still in.
So in the timeline, 3 is like after 6, I think. But at any rate, and then 5 was where the Rock was introduced, and it then became like a caper, like a heist, James Bondish type of action movie. So I actually listen. I have a love for the first one. That's the one I've watched the most. So I'd say probably my favorite is that, but of the modern ones, it was number 5. I'm just going to say though, for this, I think this is a very long trailer. It's 3 minutes and 19 seconds. I think it's too much. I'm going to be very honest with you.
I think it's the whole movie.
I think they
gave away a lot.
And I don't think they needed to. If you're going to see Fast 9, you've likely already seen Fast 1 through 8, right? You don't need to be sold on going to see this movie. So I'm a little bit disappointed in how much it's a long trailer, man. So this is like the Zack Snyder Justice League cut of trailers. It's a long trailer.
They basically, I think there's been delayed so much they like just threw their hands up and they're like, just take this giant sizzle reel of like just
maybe they were spoilers. Spoilers
like,
coming out because now I'm surprised they've kept so many things on their wraps. Like, how does Han come back, and how does the brother factor into this? So it's going to be crazy. I'm pretty excited. I saw a lot of sweet cars in there, even though it's not about the cars anymore. I saw the return of the Charger. I saw one of the brand new Supras, and I'm pretty sure that's definitely Han's car. Pretty sweet Mustang driven by John Cena, who is, I believe he is a Mustang guy. So Chris Ho, is Fast 5 with The Rock like your favorite version of this franchise?
Yeah, I think so. I think exactly what Rob said. It kind of reinvented the franchise. Like it was dead after 4. Or what was it called? Fast and Furious. It was a dead franchise. Yeah, The Rock comes in, and they kind of I don't know if they meant to, but they stumbled upon like this wicked genre of like car heist movies that I loved, and that was like the peak. Like, The Rock does the heel, he's the heel, he does the face turn or whatever, and it's great. To get really wrestling meta on you. Too bad Pat's not here, but and then after that, I don't know. they've gotten into this position where they're just going they're going over the top, which is fine, over the top, but they've gotten to this position where they constantly have to one up it in a way, like, and I don't know, maybe just they don't want to write a good story, so they're just like, you know what, let's go to submarine, let's go to this, let's go to space now. Like, what
you get it's an entertaining movie. It's a popcorn. It's the very definition of what a summer blockbuster is now.
It's getting to be too. It's like kind of too much. It's like too much of like we want action, we want mindless action, we want car chases, things like that. But it's to the point where it's like I think it's just way too much, in the sense that they need to scale it back and like focus on like things.
Maybe that's why they are announcing the end of this particular main one, and maybe they will have spin-offs that kind of like, I've always wanted it to kind of go back to the car underground culture, but you know what, that era has passed, so they can't really go back there.
Nobody's putting LED lights underneath their runners anymore, right?
People still are, and they're coming standard on a lot of cars now, so that thing is now standard on a lot of cars now, so don't worry about that. That type of stuff's still going.
I was going to say, John, and to kind of piggyback off what Chris is saying, I'm a big James Bond fan. The James Bond franchise, listen, it's pretty standard. It's a super spy against some type of a villain who wants to take over the world. But at a certain point during the Roger Moore era, it started to get kind of ridiculous. Then you got Moonraker, where he's out in space. And so they had to kind of reel it back into a bit more of a realism, dealing with things, and it got a little bit crazy again with the crazy gadgets in the car that disappeared and everything else in the Pierce Brosnan era. So I think that, not to be a pun intended here, but like there's going to be a course correction, I would imagine, because I think Chris is right. You do have to kind of, you've gone to the extreme. Now you got to kind of reel it back into a bit more of that.
But you never know. What if they just continue to keep going up and topping it? And I think some people said jokingly that Fast and Furious 10 is where they straight up go to space. So we saw pretty much a rocket car in there. So maybe they're just going to do that, and maybe they don't have to go back to basics, back to practical, Batman Begins kind of style.
I'm just going to throw that Jason 10, Jason X, right? Jason Voorhees from the Friday 13th movies. Jason 10 was Jason in space. So if you really want to go and follow that trajectory, I think
there's a discrepancy in money being thrown at it and people working on it and stars involved. So I don't think they're going to quite go that route. Respect to Jason X. I thought that was a pretty funny movie. But I think the only thing I wanted in talking, I think, do you guys think Fast and the Furious 5 is one of Rock's best kind of performances? Like, because he was kind of like a semi quasi villain, and didn't go as over the top as he does in a lot of the movies, like kind of playing himself. Is Fast and Furious 5 one of your favorite versions of The Rock, even though he's not even in this movie? I'll just say it anyway.
I think so.
I think The Rock. I think Fast 5 is where you see his trajectory then skyrockets off into those type of roles, into stepping into different franchises and almost becoming an action star himself, right? Like he's chewing that scene, right? As if it was tobacco from like the 80s. So like he's really chewing it up. And I think that if you look at all the movies he did pre Fast 5, it's hard to kind of see, like he was kind of hit and miss on some of them. And then Fast 5 is where he skyrockets and becomes, where you get the Rampage, you have the Jumanjis, you have all these action movies that he's in now, right? So
I feel like
we got to mention the Rundown. Like, would you put Rundown up there?
But that was pre. That was
a great movie. I follow The Rock's career quite closely. I was a big wrestling fan back in the day, so I think like Rob said, he kind of embraced his like larger than life like look and persona and everything like that, because like I remember previous to that he did some movies, he tried to like slim down like to like 220 pounds or whatever it is, like lower than
slim down for The Rock.
Slim down however much he could, and then Fast 5, he just embraced it. He's like, I'm just giant human and I just have this larger than life screen presence, I'm just going to embrace it. And then it's kind of become his persona right now. So I think that was embracing it.
Yeah, so I hope the same thing can happen to John Cena, because I think he, like, if you watch a lot of his stuff and his YouTube videos, and he did like a whole bunch of car reviews, I hope that something is in line for him to kind of get to that next level for his career. I think that's really cool. And then I'll bring it back to the trailer. Did you guys have like a favorite moment in that trailer? I really liked when he was flying down the zip line and all of a sudden it looked like, I guess, Vin Diesel jumps through another window or building launches. It hits him off the zip line into another building. So I don't know if there was anything that stuck out for you in the trailer, or was it maybe Han's sniper?
I think
assist?
anything with Han, just because I'm such a huge Han fan, and I feel like he kind of I don't want to say he fills the void of Paul Walker, but like he kind of gets that like everyman kind of vibe to the situation.
Yeah. And he is also
yeah.
it's like car guy again. He is also a legit car guy. So I'm down with him back, and I'm fine if they don't even explain it. Rob, did anything stick out in that trailer in particular to you? Spaceship car?
Lucas Haas from from Tokyo Drift. We saw him drinking a couple beers. Yeah, you know what? For me it was the magnets. Like, for whatever reason, the magnets only seem to be working when they need them to. As you're driving by street lamps and mailboxes, nothing's flying around, even though you've got it turned on.
What you don't see is a guy 4 blocks down the road, his fillings flying out of his mouth. Going, oh my god! What just happened?
Yeah, earrings flying out of people's earlobes. So,
all kinds of craziness.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, we've got. I feel like we could definitely fill a whole podcast full of Fast and the Furious talk. And Andre is, unfortunately, he was working. I know he's huge Fast and the Furious guy now, so we'll have to maybe bring him back for the run back, or when we do the full review for this movie. He's going to be going crazy. So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Rob, you can find him at _905, all spelled out. I'm Jho Heroes World. I'm on the Twitter now if you guys want to get at me there. Chris, I think we still have the exclusive on you for our trailer reaction and other videos. Thank you very much. So Heroes World Podcast, new episodes every week. Lately, we've been dropping them on Sundays. And then every Monday, we go live with the Sidekick Show. So this coming Monday, if you're watching this as it airs on April 14th, we are going to be covering Mortal Kombat, the 1995 original movie, in anticipation to the new 2021 Mortal Kombat movie coming out. So definitely tune in for that Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get in the chat and interact with us live. Thank you for watching these trailer reactions. Any suggestions? Do you dig it? Do you not dig it? Do you want us to, mix up the format or whatever? And then get at us in the comments. What do you think? Fast 9, are you in or out? So thank you very much, everybody, and catch you on the next one.